You cannot solve a crisis of trust with lathi, sir. You cannot solve unemployment with police barricades. You cannot solve paper leak with repressions. You cannot silence the aspiration of entire generation by force. These allegations demand an independent and transparent investigation. Home Minister should come to the House and he should announce an inquiry. So I rise today to speak not merely about the examinations and paper leaks. I rise to speak about the dreams of India's youth. I rise to speak about the mothers who sell their jewelry to pay coaching fees. I rise to speak about fathers who work day and night so that their children can study. I rise to speak about students who spend years preparing for one examination only to discover that the question paper has been leaked. I rise to speak about young people who score extraordinary marks but are denied opportunity because they cannot afford coaching. And most painfully, sir, I rise to speak about those young people who have reached such a state of despair that they have been taken their own lives. This is not simply not an educational crisis. This is a crisis of hopes. Crisis of hopes. And when a government destroys the hope of its youth, it is not merely failing its education system, it is failing the future of the country. Let me begin with the word of a young woman. She wrote, "You gave me so much love, but I could not fulfill even one of your wishes. Mom, you supported me like a friend in every difficulty. Dada, you also supported me a lot. You loved me even more than mom and dad. You are not responsible for my suicide." And then she wrote, "Even when I was studying for NEET, you sacrificed everything for me and I failed, unable to fulfill your wishes." These are the final words of Ankita Sankle, a resident of Jalalpur village in Maharashtra, who died suicide on Saturday, sir. This Saturday. Think about these words, sir. The daughter who believed that she had failed her mother. Ankita's story is not an isolated story. We have seen this tragedy before also. We'll still remember smiling face of S. Anita from Ariyallur in Tamil Nadu. In 2017, Anita scored 1,176 out of 200 marks in her class 12 state board examination. She was a brilliant student. She had worked hard, she had talent, but she could not join the MBBS course because her poor score in NEET. Her story should have been enough to make us stop and think, but we did not. And a year later, we are still asking, how many more Anitas, how many more Ankitas you need? Sir, this is the question put forward by the nation. This is the question put forward by the student of this country. Honorable Speaker, sir, according to the latest accidental death and suicide in India, ADSI report of the National Crime Records Bureau, student suicide increased approximately 80% from 8,668 in 2014. 2014 it was 8,068. Now in 2026, 14,488 per year. ADSI report captured failure in examination. Failure in examination as a distinct category of reason for suicide nowadays. This is the reward given by the Modi government, sir. This is the reward given by the Modi government. All together, taken together, 21% of the student suicide is only due to the failure in examination in this country. It is not a worrisome point. This is not a static, sir. This is an emergency. The Ministry of Education itself has recognized the psychological crisis facing our students. Sir, Manodarpan Helpline, this is created by the Education Ministry only, launched in July 2020 to provide psychological support to students, and received more than 3.32 lakh calls from different regions as of March 2026. 3.32 lakhs students are asking for psychological support. You see the situation in this country? Now, in May 2026, NEET UG paper leaked. Actually, how is that? You are now talking about big thing about the new legislation. This also, you people want to give credit to Narendra Modi ji for bringing this legislation. Arey, big thing. How many students shedded their blood for this legislation? You bro. How many lathi charge you have been? How many AK-47 you have done? Mr. Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister, you are Home Minister and Prime Ministers not ready to sit here because of they have guilty conscience in their minds. They cannot face these talks. Jitendra Singh, you are sitting there, but your Prime Minister is not here. You are talking about this is one of the important bill we are bringing, but your Prime Minister is not ready to hear what is happening in this country, what is the MPs are telling. Your Home Minister, who done under the Home Ministry only all these atrocities happened. He is the person who ruled the Delhi states. Delhi is a union territory controlled by Home Ministry directly. He is not here. Yesterday he was not here. Last week also he was not here. These people are telling they are brave enough 56 inches, just 56 inches. 5 inches is not there, sir. 5 inches, not only 56.
Double engines.
CBI, ED, income tax, all these agencies were powerful once upon a time. You completely misused all these agencies. This agency is only designed for now setting with opposition leaders and setting with your political enemies. They didn't have any system to control all this type of malpractices and everything. That is what happened. 24 you brought the legislation. After 2 years, you are bringing again a legislation. We are ready to pass the legislation, but I still believe that if you didn't have any sincerity to address the concern of the students of this country, concern of addressing this examination failures, this legislation is not going to serve any purpose.
Yes.
You are not the persons who are implementing the legislation, sir. We brought right to information. What was happened to RTI now? What happened to RTI now? What happened to RTE? Right to education? We only brought that. You killed all the legislations. You never implemented that. Now right to information is become a memory. Now it is going to happen. Right to employment also. Manrega also going to be a memory. Yes. There was legislation. If you didn't have any sincerity to implement the legislation, there is no purpose to doing this legislation. We are very sure that you cannot do these things because this is not an issue of legislation. This is an issue of system failure. Why system is failed? You are talking about a big thing, but the situation in this country, poor people, those who are coming from laborer background, those who are coming from farming background, those who are in a poor economic situation, cannot afford this coaching system at all. You don't want to encourage public education system. You want to weaken education system. Completely RSS is hijacking. Vice Chancellor appointed by, then now new education, higher education bill they are planning. What is that? You know better than Andhra Pradesh government also know about that new education, higher education bill, which is completely hijacking state government's educational capacity and educational input. Following the cancellation of the NEET examination, at least 21 students across India died by suicide. And what did the government do? Did it listen? Did it accept responsibility? Did it reassure the students? Did it rebuild confidence? Instead, students and their parents were left with anger, anxiety and hopelessness. Tejasna Surya is telling that, I don't know how he can tell that. Last 12 years they are in power. Now he is telling that Modi government only brought this legislation. You people, we were not in power for last 12 years. And how can we bring a legislation? Basically, what is this law? Penal provision is from 3 to 5 years. Imprisonment is become 3 years to 5 years. Fine become 10 lakhs. This is the actually simple crux of this legislation. Okay, something is better than nothing. Okay, we are welcoming that. But where is the accountability? The second fundamental issue is getting India's public examination system. The CBSE also same thing happened. There big corruption happened. It was identified by none other than 2 students. CBSE scam was identified by 2 students. We have to salute them. Our Gen Z generation is completely dynamic and wise and informative. The system has undergone 3 dangerous situations. One is centralization, second is privatization, third is politicalization. These 3 things we are facing through this education system. Universities and state conduct examination according to their own educational requirement and unique context. This was the system in our state, our country. But now, entire thing is centralized. The centralized examination replaced and conducted by the National Testing Agency. Examinations such as Common University Entrance CUET as also part of the central architecture. But the NTA itself is a chronically understaffed organization that relies heavily on private contractors to conduct examinations. And questions have been raised about the quality and independence of those involved in paper setting, translation and examination management. The result has been catastrophic. Paper leaks, retest, cancelled examinations, delayed results, students losing years of their lives, and in the worst cases, students losing their lives themselves. I spoke about the CBSE crisis. Coimbed Education Tech Private Limited. This is the company which created complete mischief on the CBSE examination. No action. Whenever students raise the alarm, the government is not ready to correct it. Now they are telling they are correcting. They completely lost the time to correct. Completely they did nothing. But now they are telling about we are doing everything. This is completely bogus. There is another static that should concern every member of this House. Analysis of UDISA and AISHE data suggests that out of every 100 students who enroll in grade 1, only around 23 complete grade 12 and only around 18 enter higher education. Why? Before the paper leaks, the education pipeline itself leaks. Now we are talking about the paper leak, education pipeline itself leaking because students are not getting completely, students are dropping out. Students are being pushed into expensive coaching systems, seats are limited, examinations are compromised, and after all this, even a degree does not guarantee employment. The State of Working India report shows that among graduates and above, only 48% had on any employment. So only 6.7% of graduates had permanent salary employment. So the young person faces obstacles at every stage. She may not complete school. If she does, she may not enter higher education. If she enters higher education, she may face an expensive coaching system. If she clears the examination, she may still face unemployment. And if the examination itself is leaked or cancelled, she may lose another year of her life. And when young people protest against this, what does the government do? Does it listen? Does it engage? Does it apologize? Or only one thing they will send the police. They will send the police. Is this the answer? Is this the answer, sir? There have been disturbing videos concerning the treatment of student protesters in Delhi, including baton charges, assault on women, pellet injuries, and attacks by unidentified individuals. In the name of police, so many people were there. The violence included persons in uniform and in civilian clothes being forced against protesters involving women protesters and people carrying sticks. These allegations demand an independent and transparent investigation. Home Minister should come to the House and he should announce an inquiry. Nothing less than is not sufficient, sir. Yes. The country needed that. Home Minister should come to the House and he should announce an inquiry, impartial inquiry to investigate what has happened against the students. When LOP went to Prime Minister's house, Jitendra Singh came there to meet us. The way in which a police handled the leader of opposition of the country. Shame. Entire world witnessed that. Yes. We didn't have any botheration for that. LOP told very clearly that I'm not bothered about police beating me, but I am bothered about police beating students. That is what the LOP told. We are all like that. You cannot solve a crisis of trust with lathi, sir. You cannot solve unemployment with police barricades. You cannot solve paper leak with the repressions. You cannot silence aspiration of entire generation by force. This is the lesson which India taught you during this agitation. Yes. From the very first day of NEET paper leak. Very good. Now, so many people are telling why Rahul Gandhi is speaking about it. In this house, 2 years before, this whole house sitting by here, yes. In 24, Rahul Gandhi asked the Prime Minister of India at least have a discussion about the NEET examination. There are so many complaints are coming. Whether the Prime Minister listened to Rahul Gandhi. He given a very concrete proposal. We are ready to give positive proposal. 2024 में Rahul Gandhi. LOP told the Prime Minister. Congress party and other opposition party, Rahul Gandhi himself is completely raising this issue last 3 years. Nobody is ready to listen because you are in an ego, different ego. You are not going to listen to any opposition voice. You want to suppress the opposition voice. This is the clear lesson. This is the clear lesson, you people, brothers. In democracy, you need to listen everybody's voice. Yeah. If you at least heard the alarm which given by LOP and other opposition parties, you could have been saved from this situation. Unfortunately, your ego is not allowing this. The demands of India youth have been raised in every platform, sir. From the streets, from parliament, from university, from examination center, from the families of students, and we will continue to raise them. Because this fight is not about one examination. Now this fight is to repair Indian education system. Now the education minister has resigned. He is only, Dharmendra Pradhan ji is only a symbol of abysmal education system, unemployment, corruption in the education department, police brutality and government insensitivity. There is no doubt that India Gen Z youth, with their courage and bravery, have challenged the arrogance of a powerful government. First they were ridiculed, then they were silenced, but the youth did not forget. They continue to question, they continue to protest.
So please conclude.
Because even against 1,000 sticks of oppression, a single voice of courage is enough, and the young generation of this country has proved it. Rahul Gandhi told you last day, Narendra Modi is the past. The fight is for the future, sir.
Yes.
Our Prime Minister was the past. Therefore, sir, I am concluding with my remarks, sir. This legislation we are bringing, are we going to continue with a system where coaching become a necessity? Are we going to continue with a system where public school disappear and private education expands? Are we going to continue with a system where the NTA is repeatedly questioned? Are we going to continue with a system where students have to fight in courts simply to get justice? Are we going to continue with a system where students protest and face police violence? Are we going to continue with a system where a degree does not guarantee a job? Sir, are we going to build a new system? A system where education is affordable? A system where public schools are strong? A system where public universities are accessible? A system where examinations are transparent? A system where paper leaks are impossible? Congress party stands for India youth. Opposition parties stand for India youth. We stand with students who studied for years. We stand with the girl whose father is a daily wage laborer.
Yes.
We stand with the family that spent its savings on coaching. Correct. We stand with the student who traveled hundreds of kilometers to sit for an examination. We stand with the young person who has been unemployed despite having a degree. We stand with the student whose examination was cancelled. We stand with the student whose paper was leaked. We stand with this demanding justice. And we stand with the parents who have lost their children, because education is not a privilege, education is a right. Thank you, sir.